worthies. The other night, as I lay sleeping, a funny dream through my head came creeping. As I was walking down the street, a strange procession I did meet. Sic a turnout you ne'er did see. There was naebody else in the street but me. The Borough Pipe Band led the way as they marched through Kirkcudbright. First to come was a horse-drawn car with Bobby the Wolf and Shirley Hopedon bar, and sitting on the horse's head was Bede MacDonald eating bread. Sam Heenan next with Al Rob clinging, all lang syne they both were singing. Then Hubby Poland and Geordie Tay, and the Stormdale Sea Dog Captain Ray. Then Liza Robson, if I'm no mistaken, was kissing and cuddling Honey Aiken, and after them came Sam Cadoo, with George Parkhill fecht and screw. The next was wee Pot, you ne'er saw the like, he was juking about sock up on a bike. I declare to goodness he near knocked me spinning, and on his back step was wee Bung Macmillan. After them came a squad of women, dancing and hooching and yelling and screaming. Inspector Kerr was playing his fiddle, Sarah Johnson and Gorka dancing in the middle. There was Councillor Marshall and Mrs. Jai Maltman. She was dressed up bra in a brand new dolman. Marshall was smoking an old clay pipe, and wee Wally Nish had just given her a light. There was Peter Collins and Big Bob Juan, making a fool of the Borough Band. Big Mary Higgins and wee Bob Connell, arm in arm with Hanny Munnelf. Young Harry Gourley frae the stile was hanging on to an old coo's tail, while old man Kim, serene and true, sang on Laurie to the coo. They argued up to the public park. Oh my goodness, what a lark. Out on the pitch came 2 football teams, their pants held up with string and pins. Sic a turnout you ne'er did see, Gutty, you asked would he referee. Says, see the man with the floor in his breast, you'd better ask him, that's Sanny the Beast. So San took the whistle and started to blaw. The players lined up as he centred the bar. The game it was starting, and Flysuki stit, he scored the first goal with a flick o' his fit. Al Geordie Maxwell in goal for the Saints, left Murray the keeper between the other 2 pints. The in to score 3 Leafs goal first was Beattie the grocer, who they thought was the worst. I dinna ken a the yins that were playing, and half of them didn't ken what they were doing. Hugh Gourley was centre of what a tear, he put Angus the butcher right up in the air. Out for the crowd came Sonny DL and hit Geordie Murphy on the head with a pail. Wee P. McCullough says, what a shame, and then caught the feet for Barber Watt frame. Melbourne was half back along with Will Law, but none of them got a kick of the bar. Old McKenzie tried, he couldn't score, and all Farmer Pickin I kicked over the bar. The ref gave a corner, they all gathered round, and Hornell he headed to Plummer McClune. It came kinda high, so Rob had to jump, and here put the head on young Geordie Fump. The waterman Miller was richt off his game. He tried with his lamian, but might as well stayed at hame. G. Mulroy a dribbling to beat Captain Bing Key, then wee White the tailor banged it in with his knee. Things by this time for the Saints looked quite rosy, and Seepin scored yin and so did Al Totty. 3 yin for the Saints, oh what a joke. The ref blew the whistle, and then I woke. Well, this is Peter McAdam. If you want to know anything about Kirkcudbright, ask Peter. And I've brought this poem, The Old Worthies. It's a poem about Kirkcudbright folk, and we'll see what he says about it. Right, Peter, where do you think this originated, this poem?
Well, I think it was after the war. It's not that, it was after the war that I think it came out.
Some of the names are about that era, aren't they?
Aye. I'm not very sure. I could be telling you a lie, but I think that's meant to be.
Well, I know some of them, and I've heard a lot of the names. I don't know who they are. Right, Bobby the Wolf. Where was he?
Well, Bobby the Wolf was a kind of worthy. He stayed in Mulroy's luncheon house.
Luncheon house, aye.
I could never mind him working it, and maybe when it was a boat come in, the store would get him going carry bags off the boats.
And how would he get the nickname Bobby the Wolf? It's a kind of savage, isn't it?
But no,
A mystery.
no, I've no clue.
Well, Charlie Hopton Bar, that's Sir Charles Hopton Bar, I think we'll all ken him. The next one's Bean McDonald.
Well, Bean had a bicycle shop. His brother and him had a bicycle shop in High Street. His brother sorted the punctures and sorted the bikes. Bean sold gramophone records and he was interested in foreign stamps.
Oh, philatelists. That's
But
where...
had originally come from Inverness
Oh, right.
because when his brother retired, the mother and him went away back up to Inverness.
See. He stays in, it's where Pussy Murray stays now, isn't it?
Aye, about 108 High Street.
Now the next one on the list, Sam Heenan. Is he a butcher?
He was the butcher.
Is that Donald Heenan's grandfather?
Aye, there was Willie Heenan. Willie Heenan was the butcher and Sam Heenan was actually the vanman.
All right,
But the shop was originally up where Curly Clements was.
Oh, up in Castle Street.
Well, when they moved in there, Sam Heenan moved into the house above the shop, and wee Willie Heenan moved into a house in the bank,
All right,
the Royal Bank of Scotland, on the top of that.
So that shop, Curly Clements around about, that is new Rhubarb.
Aye.
Rhubarb shop. The next one on the list, Rob Klingon.
The grocer.
The grocer, where Dougie Ross used to have his
Yes.
shop.
Aye.
It's now the
Well, he would take over for Bobby Barr.
All right.
That was Barr, the chemist, the Barr's grocer, Bobby Barr.
Right. I think I've heard, no, maybe no, but I think I used to hear Poy Carmel saying he was a message boy there.
Aye, Poy worked in the shop, and Jimmy Gilnery was the message boy.
All right.
Well, ask at the garden, he always had a say he'd do, say,
Oh.
looking at ask at Pooters.
Right, the next one's Hobby and Geordie Poland.
Both fishermen.
They're well known Kirkcudbright names, aren't they?
Aye.
Hobby, I think, did Hobby get his name because his wife Alice called her My Hobby? Is that how he got his name?
Well, I don't know, but I remember when Hobby, they stayed in the steeple house.
Oh, aye.
And they rang the bell. They rang the bell at the toll booth. In those days, the bell rang. It rang on a Sunday morning. I think it started at 11:15. And at 11:05, the second bell came in. That was taken. There was 2 bells. The first bell rang, and then later on, maybe 11:05, the second bell came on to tell you to hurry up.
All right.
And then the first Wednesday in the month, the bell rang at 7:30 for the council meeting.
All right, aye.
There's not such a thing now.
No,
I didn't even care if there's only bells left.
no, there's a kind of tinny bell, but I don't think it... I can mind that when we used to play in High Street, we used to get along about, I don't know, 6 o'clock. The Davisons stayed across the road.
Aye, well,
we used to have a
they
big long queue of wains waiting to poo in the bell.
Well, they didn't. They were after the war. But Hobby was rehoused up in when they built the new houses up on the road.
Aye.
But as soon as Dovecroft was built, he moved back down and carried on the ringing of the bell. And it'd been after the war that they moved in the house across the road.
That's interesting. Now, what about Captain Ray?
Well, Captain Ray was a captain. He was a sea captain. The Rays was a canal family. Bob Ray was a bit of a character in the town. He went about taking the numbers of the trucks that come in. And then when the railway went off, he started taking the numbers of the cars.
All right.
He was a kind of character, but Captain Ray was actually a deep sea man. He was in He was in the liners and that.
And where did he live?
He stayed in Castle Street next, you know, where the Thompson's Electric.
Oh, aye.
Stayed in the close there.
All right, Well, I can mind Lisa Robson.
Liza.
Liza, because
Liza
she always
Robson.
wore yellow beads.
She always had the bike.
Aye.
Well,
Her father was an artist, wasn't he?
aye, Bill Robson. But then when Bill Robson died, and his family, they reckoned had a big estate, I think it was up in Ayrshire.
Uh-huh.
And when they died, Liza got left all the money.
All right.
And the rest of the family landed down in Liza. Her brother was that big house across the water, what do you call it?
Oh, Dildon.
Dildan. And he got her to buy Dildan. But she still come down in the town every day on her bike.
Aye, she was a character.
Johnny.
Johnny Eakin.
Aye, had the
garage.
garage.
Aye, Tumlin.
Tumlin.
Tumlin garage.
And I think Johnny would make his money with the range.
All right.
When the range started off, well, must just have been boys that was driving the lorries, because our kind of able-bodied men had been caught up.
Aye.
And I think Johnny got the contract for hauling in the gravel and the sand and
All right.
cement to build the range.
Aye.
He had the hall at Tumlin. He did factory stuff. He went to sales and
Aye.
you could get up there and buy stuff.
Did they also, I may be wrong on this, but did they also have a hotel up in Castle?
Well, that was his son-in-law, Jim Hewin married Johnny Eaton's daughter.
All right.
And they went into that big hotel down at in Cairn,
Oh, Balcarry.
Alcary.
Uh-huh.
And then they shifted out of there up to, I think it was Castle Douglas.
Aye. Sam Caldew.
Sam Caldew,
Aye.
my wife's grandfather.
All right. I thought it was Caldew the Drapers, you see.
No.
It just shows you how you can be wrong.
He was foreman at the Milton for years. And then he came back and he started up his own business. He had either 2 or 3 horses. They were in the stables down in Mews Lane.
All right, aye. Where McMurray's garage
McMurray's.
is. Aye.
And Jimmy McAdam was you know, I can mind him, he was a driver.
Ah. Aye.
But
The next one we have on the list, George Park Hill.
well, George Park Hill was the coxswain of the lifeboat.
That's right, aye.
And
I've seen photographs of him there.
Aye.
Aye. I've seen photographs of him in the front of the lifeboat crew.
And I think he was decorated. There was some big storm at night.
All right.
They put the boat out and
Ah,
he'd be coxswain of the lifeboat for quite a long time.
right. And he was in the poem, he's fighting Screw.
Eh?
Right, in the poem, he's fighting Screw.
Screw Gurley.
Screw Gurley.
Aye, I'll Huey.
That
Huey.
would be, I can't a Screw, but that would be his feather, and his grandson will be Davy, wouldn't he? Ken those
Well, I'll Huey. Stuart Gurley was Al Huey's son.
Stuart, that's
Stuart
right.
Gurley.
Huey died, Stuart died young, didn't he?
Aye.
That's right. The next one's Wee Port.
Fort Macmillan.
All right.
That was he stayed in Hightwell. It's no. You had the country buildings,
Uh-huh.
and then you had the police close, and then you had another close.
All right.
It's the close where the 2 new police houses was built.
All right. I see.
You see the plaque up and the was
Aye,
still
that's
there,
right, still there,
1638 or something. Well, Fort stayed doing that. Wee Fort stayed doing that.
Is that his name, Port? Or
Well,
just
that was his
nickname?
nickname.
Aye.
Jiggy was his
All
son.
right. Oh, Jiggy, aye. And then we've got Bung Macmillan,
Well, that was he was the coal
gold
merchant.
merchant.
That was his son. But well, his daughter still lives down there in that house.
All right.
Gerda Macmillan.
All right.
She still lives
I
down
didn't
there.
realise that.
They had the coal business
Aye.
and the
I
station
can mind
here.
the coal business, aye.
Aye.
I can mind the merchant at the War Memorial at
Yes.
November times, aye. Inspector Kerr, I've never heard of.
Well, he finished up as Chief Constable care. Well, the house is not there now either. You know the police houses that's in Castle Street?
Uh-huh.
Well, he stayed in the house there. And during the war, I can't mind, he was called up during the war, which was unusual. But when the war finished, he had some kind of a big job in Italy. He was 90. He was 90 or something when he died. He died down in Bournemouth.
Uh-huh.
But he was chief constable
Right.
in Kirkcudbright.